Hey, yo, we're back to Cash on the Hood, episode 2 with my main man, Steven Sickles, and 501 Todd Cioppa. But before we kick in, I need you to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, because without you, we can't do this stuff. And, I'm trying to kick Steven's ass in the podcast game, so I need you to help me out here. Steven's catching up real quick.
Beautiful thing, they're supporting both of them, so definitely follow Cash on the Hood.
All right, so, Steven's got the revved up garage cast, and while I have you at the beginning here, let me tell you about our man Brian. Brian has Cinema Psychos with 253 episodes. He also works for Lipson. We have nothing but talent at the engineering table today. Thanks, Brian.
Big up for Brian.
Yep. So what we're going to talk about this episode is how many movies and TV shows we've been in. So we're going to start with Todd. Todd, you have an IMDb?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I have my own.
Man, I want to be like this guy one day.
No.
What's on there?
Well, if you Google me, it just comes up producer and actor, which I'm kind of glad because all the bad shit's down for like 2-3 pages on Google. So I'm kind of producer and actor. It doesn't come up anything.
So did you pay for that search engine optimization?
No. Never paid for that. It just happened. I guess when
even better
when Adventureland popped, they did everything. I didn't have to do anything, and then they said, "Hey, you might want to update it and upload some pictures and stuff like that." So yeah.
Now, Adventureland, you had the mansion and you had the cars, right?
I had rented them the house with the pool in Churchill. It was my in-laws' house at the time, and I had rented them where Jesse Eisenberg's in the pool, and I wasn't expecting to get a part. It was weird how it went down.
Right. What part do you have in Adventureland?
I played the restaurant manager. I'm in like the first 13 minutes. I had 4 lines with Jesse Eisenberg. It's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was funny how I got the part, too. It was, it's after I cut the deal with Greg Matola's and the location manager. He's the director. He went to CMU. He directed that. And Paul, Basic Adventureland was about his life living in Long Island. Astro World was the amusement park. They used Kennywood here, but so about 7:00 at night, I'm going to pick up my mom, and I get a call from Nancy Mosser, the casting agent, and she says, "Todd, what are you doing?" It's like 7 at night. I'm like, "Why are you calling me?" I said, "Nothing, Nancy. I'm picking up my mom." She said, "Greg wants you to play the part of the restaurant manager," and I'm like, "Wait a second, are you fucking with me? Am I allowed to swear on here?"
Go ahead.
Too late.
And then I hear all this laughing in the background because they were on speaker. It was Greg Matola, Declan Baldwin, the producer. And they said, No, Todd. We want you to play the part of the restaurant manager. You're perfect. It's 1986. Don't cut your hair. I said, Greg, I'll do it for free for you. You just gave me 15 dimes. Paid me $15,000 to rent the house, right?
Right.
I'll do it for free. He says, "Oh no! You got to come down. You got to read. It's about 4 lines, and we got to do headshots, and I got to pay you. I got to put you in the union." I'm like, "Okay, no worries." So I went.
That's your first union job.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook. You still get a.
I get a
small
check. I got
correct?
a check like last week. It was weird, like for $1.30. But it's
just a memory.
It's a residual check. The weirdest thing, I got a check for 3 cents one time. I mean, the feds got their 2 cents, and I got my 3 cents. But it cost more to mail it out. But the initial was, I had my own trailer. It was at the old Plaza restaurant where my scene was, and this is a lot of people don't know about this. Kristen Stewart was in it, and Ryan Reynolds, and the day of my shoot, I remember Kristen Stewart coming in, and she's telling everybody about this big part she's going to get, and it's going to be big, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, It's going to be about vampires.
Oh man.
And I'm just thinking, yeah, whatever, and there you go.
Yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because she was young, and she had some scenes with Ryan Reynolds in the house, so her mom was on set. But she was like real pumped, and then, you're at that time, you're like, yeah, whatever,
Blew up.
and it blew up.
That's incredible.
It blew up, yeah. So that was my first.
Got the real good taste of it.
Yeah.
What year was that they made that movie?
07. 07, yeah. and you know, it did okay. I knew the budget on it, you know.
I believe I watched it when it first came out, and I actually didn't know that you were in it. Until
I was in a
years
fat
later.
suit. They put me in a fat suit. I was real big in it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what you and Steven are in a movie right now.
Yeah, we are Gladiators of Steel.
I got lucky that I'm in it at all, but
Hey, man, you're the champ. They need you on camera.
Yeah,
I needed a. I text Todd. I was like, man, next time I just need a more. I need to be more involved in this.
yeah. You were good, Steve. It was funny. We had a little banter in the inspection line. You know,
It's
Nice.
funny you come all the way from Pittsburgh out to there, and then we're the ones that got the back and forth.
making me cut. Yeah, it's funny because Nick King, our head inspector at Iron City Promotions, and Steven, one of my friends, you know, are making me cut my car in Vegas. And so
Well-
they caught the banner on film, which was great, and it's in the movie. It's in the
If anyone knows anything about me in a tech line, I'm rougher on my friends than I am the stranger.
as you should be.
So
As you should be, yeah.
Yeah, hold them accountable.
Yeah. So yeah, Gladiators came out right before Christmas. It's good. It's a good little movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't get paid for that one, you know.
Not yet.
No, not yet. But
Yeah, it's happening.
It was funny because when we were out there and they approached me and I told the Carrie, I said, I'm not doing shit. You got to pay me. She says, what do you mean? I said, well, I pulled out my SAG card.
You do that everywhere we
And
go.
she was like, oh shit. And she went back and told Rocco, and he came to me and he said, we could find you something. I'm like, I'm only messing with you. I'll do this one for free, but the next one you're paying.
Nice. Now I remember when they called you, and
Yeah.
so Wayne and I went up there and like leaned on the van and watched you
Yeah.
do the interview.
Yeah.
You and McDonald.
Yes, Stan. Yeah. It was just a wonderful time out there. We had a great time. Everybody and anybody in the Derby world was there.
Yeah, that was a good show, Vegas.
It was fun. You know, the promoter was good. The hits were good. You know, it was a lot of fun. You know, I enjoyed it. You know, Steven probably would have rather ran than be a.
I wish.
I know.
And I was like, I'm getting the car out here. However, I got to
Yeah.
do it the next year. And then
Yeah.
Are you in any other TV stuff there, Steven?
I was, well, nothing recently, but I actually was in a Kennywood commercial when I was like 2. But that's
Whoa.
about it.
That's pretty
awesome.
cool.
It was sort of a traumatizing experience. They came and asked my mom while we were at the park. They're like, hey, your kid's cute. Like, can he ride this ride? And we have. So I rode. Do you remember the little old cars they had when you went down into the right? What were they called?
Turnpike.
The Turnpike.
Yeah.
So I rode the Turnpike with this dude that had to be in his 60s, squatted in front of me with a camera in my face as we went through. And I was only 2 or 3 years old. I wanted to cry the whole time. Like, it was traumatizing. But
Well, you've grown from it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's almost funny because you know I've been in a lot of food movie or
You have.
food shows.
You have been
I'm
with
like
Kelly O's and stuff.
I'm like the critic of food in Pittsburgh. I've been on 2 Andrew Zimmern specials on
Mm-hmm.
the Food Network and critiquing stuffed cabbage at Amels in Rankin.
That's cool.
And then their fish sandwich, and then with Rick Seaback on WQED
Mm-hmm.
at Amels, and then most recently the Kelly O's with Guy Fieri, diners, drive-ins, and dives, and I'm critiquing her turkey pot pie soup.
forgot to
Nice.
mention, you can also catch me on All for Him Racing. I'm heavily on there.
You're like the king.
I'm on there a lot.
Yeah,
That is true.
you got good content, Steven.
Yeah, we do. We do okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just not on that D501 level.
No.
We right before COVID, Todd and I were almost on a reality show where we had to like America's Best Builder or something.
Oh yeah.
The day of contract signing was the day of COVID, so that went pretty well because I've been on a few reality shows and so I knew what the producers want to see whenever they're interviewing you for your so. Cousin Mark wasn't feeling it.
No. Cousin Mark is shy, so insert Jason Sauer.
I'm like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Shirt off,
Shirt off.
screaming in the mic.
Take your shirt off. Come on, dude. Take your
So
shirt off.
you might know a little bit better. I ran May Meltdown out in Utah, and they recorded at that show. Do you know what did they ever do with any of that
I don't
footage?
know. I think that might have been a different production. I don't believe that was Rocco.
I don't think it was the same people that I saw in Vegas, but I was just curious.
Yeah, because we were at West Jordan with Steve and Randy and Dalton were partners, and me and Skinny were announcing the show for TSL. And Big Wayne was out there, and I have some funny commentary. It was like, I'm looking at the beautiful mountains and the whole crowd, and I'm like,
oh, them tracks.
Me and Wayne are the only black dudes in this whole stadium, And Skinny's laughing, but it was a different because he had a drone, and the drone fell and got broke. But it wasn't this. I don't believe it was the same.
Yeah, because I ran that show, and I remember being around a lot of cameras there.
Yes.
I thought it was the in-house.
I don't know.
Production team.
Johnny was right on the brim of doing a lot of cool stuff when COVID hit. Me and Nick were going to go out there. He was going to put a huge money compact show out in the West too at one point.
Yeah,
and that sort of got hopefully just delayed. But there hasn't been much talk about it.
Yeah, we went out there and did filming with Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny had it going on. Yeah, because remember when we went and we got to Johnny's, there was a film crew there. Yeah, I forget who that was.
Yeah, that was another Kings of Crash or something, too.
Yeah, right.
I was there for 24 hours because I was the preacher at Cousin Dane's wedding. So I showed up, painted cars for camera, and then left.
Yeah.
So that was cool because Wayne went to that one as well. That was pretty cool.
I miss Wayne, man. I miss him.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Salute to Big Wayne.
Yeah.
So you got any other TV stuff coming up? I know you're renting your bar to American Rust or something?
American Rust Season 2 wrapped yesterday. I bought the old Heidi's Cafe / Dante Club back in January, and I've already had Netflix with Lee Daniels. It was called Demon House. Now it's called Deliverance. It should be coming out I think this summer. So that was in the summer, and then I had Mayor of Kingstown a couple months ago with Jeremy Renner. He was in the bar.
Cool.
So and then American Rust Season 2 wrapped. Well, the scene's in the bar, but they're under an option to come back until April when they're done filming. So it's been in so many movies. That's why I bought the bar. And if you guys don't know anything about Rankin, they're building a full service movie studio in the Cary Furnace, which is 100 yards away from the bar that I bought. And that's the reason why I bought the bar.
Oh, your bar is at the best location.
Yeah, I'm not going to... Listen, I've had bars, pizza shops. That was the last thing I wanted, but I knew that location would do well with the future that's going in the Cary Furnace plant.
Do you ever see that movie Out of the Furnace?
I have not.
It's a great movie with Christian Bale and Woody Harrelson and Willem Dafoe. Like the back area.
Isn't that your...
Yeah, that's the
your bar.
Yeah, I didn't own it at the time, but yeah, that's the bar. And Last Flag Flying, Banshee, you name it. We're trying to get every poster that's filmed in there, that we have. But I'm excited for Mayor of Kingstown. It's coming next, and then you see Jeremy got hurt, and
I did.
But it starts January 15th. But it's a cool little. It's old school. We're not going to change.
Is American Rust the one you called me about trying to find some cars for? Or no?
No, that was for. It was the older cars.
Yes.
Yeah, that was for. Chris Rock was in the movie. It was filmed. It was Martin Luther King's right-hand man, Rustin, I believe was his name.
I was so pumped, and Todd never called. Well, actually, the people never called me back.
Yeah.
I was so pumped.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because a lot of these they call me when they. Well, maybe Todd knows what's going on. We could get Todd to get it, because we do a lot of work for the movie people, environmental or construction or dumpsters. So yeah, yeah, so I'm excited for what's going on. I'm very happy for my town of Rankin right now. So
yeah, it's time for a turnaround.
Yeah. I mean, it's time. It's
Well, yeah, and then Fetterman became a senator.
Fetterman's a senator. Giselle, good people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice watching. So I've watched Rankin Braddock since I first came here, like in 2005.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was a tough place to live.
Yeah. It was a tough place to grow up, but you know what? I love growing up there. My dad was a retired policeman from there, and I mean, we grew up in the hood, man.
We once won an award for community
We
service
sure did.
with Big Wayne, where we
sure
painted the basketball court. Where was that at?
That's at the Rankin Ball Field in right where the Triton offices and warehouse is.
I mean, what was the restaurant? What was it, Peppers and that?
Yeah,
No.
Portogallo Peppers and that down on Braddock Avenue, the 15104 award. Yeah,
Nice.
we won that for community service. That was great. You
That was a good time.
So we painted the big R for Rankin, and we do it every couple years when it needs a new coat. We redo it. You know.
So what's next in the video world for Demolition Derby? What do you have any insight on what's to come?
You know, I heard that there was talk about a season 2 with Gladiators of Steel, perhaps coming to the East Coast and getting an East Coast perspective. So I've not heard if that's been greenlit or if that's going to happen, but you know, we'll see with that. But I really enjoyed the time with the Gladiators of Steel. It was fun. It was a fun thing, and it was put together well. The cinematography is great, but you know, I just, if they do it, then maybe I'll get back in the car.
Well, I'm hoping that car I brought back from the Delaras, I hope you put all your equipment in that thing and run it. That old 71 Imperial or 70 Imperial.
Not in the most wanted fine art class, right?
It's too old. It's a 70s.
Oh, that's right.
It's too old.
That's right. It has to be a newer car. Yeah.
So there was one time where Todd and I were in a Prophets of Rage video.
Oh my God.
Where we were trying to become a part of the Public Enemy sphere.
Oh.
And again, we were at the Birmingham Bridge Tavern, and we got to see it, but the record label didn't enjoy how it turned out, so they ended up doing a different video. But at that moment, it was Blizzard Bash, and that's when Steve managed to survive with the red line there.
With the Prophet of Rage wagon.
With the Prophets of Rage wagon.
Yeah.
So we've danced around some projects that.
Oh my God, we've had our hands in so many. Like I was sharing about Wiz Khalifa, you know, and then Drake Bell, and you know, and the Nickelodeon, and all the people that I've been associated with. But
you used to be a producer for Nickelodeon.
Not a producer, but I produced some of the concerts for Drake Bell. For my partner Phil Isley and I, we had PEI Productions, so we did some shows and yeah. But Wiz Khalifa was the funnest, though. You know, a lot of people don't know that story, right?
Yes.
I don't know that story.
So my partner and I were doing a hip-hop show. It's at Deja Vu. A buddy of ours had a Deja Vu lounge in the Strip District, and we bring in Bone Crusher, the big rapper from Atlanta. He was on Celebrity Fit Club, and he's real big rapper. And so he was the headline. And at the time, we were managing Artistry, which was a band that still plays that casino. And then the other big band was Crave. And then there was a rapper named Kelly Mays, which was a white girl, which was up and coming. And I'll never forget it. It was like Daryl from Daryl Jefferson comes up and said, "Hey, Todd, this is Wiz. He's going to be big someday, or he's going to be big real soon." I'm like, "Really?" He said, "He wants to sing a song." And I said to Wiz, "Wiz, you want to sing a song?" I said, "How many songs do you have?" He says, "I got 3. I said, "You going to be big, Wiz?" He said, I'm supposed to sign with Sony next month." I said, "All right, Wiz." I look at the label. I said, "You go up right before Kelly Mays." And he went up and sang 3 songs. So basically, I gave Wiz Khalifa a start.
That's awesome.
No. That's why it was funny, because when we did some videos on Cioppa Racing on YouTube, and I had Wiz Khalifa's music in there, and they send the letter, "We're going to sue you," blah, 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 which I don't care, because, we have good lawyers too. And I responded, "I have permission from Wiz and his mom to use this song." And they believed it, and they let it go.
That's good.
Yeah.
So,
which I probably did anyway, but I didn't even have to
I
make
remember,
the call.
is Bryce Vine, isn't he from, or he did what song? You used to share the song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a great song.
Well, he did Sour Patch Kids. That was a good
Sour
one.
Patch Kids, yeah.
But wasn't he from around here or something? I know you had a connection to why you shared it or something, I thought. Or am I thinking wrong?
It was probably Wiz.
Wiz?
It was
Okay.
Wiz, definitely Wiz.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely Wiz, because we had connections at people who knew Wiz. And so, yeah. And now look at him. I was
That's
watching
pretty
him.
awesome.
Like, yeah. So,
I had an art opening once when I first moved to this town, downstairs, and Wiz was like in the hip hop show upstairs.
Yeah.
15 years old, releasing his mixtape.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, look at all the people that are coming to see this 15-year-old. So I invited him to perform at the gallery and stuff.
Yeah.
I was once on a reality show with Kelly Mays. We were on a travel TV show sponsored by Buick.
Yeah.
And the idea was they set up people who are from different. So she's a vegan. I'm a meat eater. We went to different restaurants. She had to like look at me, watch me eat a burger, and she had to like, I had to eat like kale or whatever that TV show was. That filmed for a few days, and that was when I first met her and met the whole Nocturnal group that she was with.
Yeah. The funniest thing is, because we the hardest insurance certificate to get to do a show is for a hip hop show or any type of concert. Like our Derby insurance for the Iron City Nationals or whatever Derby would have put on is much cheaper. That was one of the hardest insurance certificates to get to do a hip hop show. It was crazy.
It should be.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
I ran a stage for 15 years in the city of Pittsburgh, and the only time my man Kai had to actually be security was during a hip hop show.
Yeah, that's it, man. It was crazy.
It was brutal. You did not want to see Kai get upset. That is a big man, tossing some young dudes around. And he was like, "No fighting in this place," and he was destroying them, yelling at them to no fighting, but he was destroying them as he was.
Yeah, missed out on all the good stuff.
Oh, and then one time we did another in Braddock at Club 804 with Gucci Mane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
good for
that
you.
didn't turn out well though.
I'm sure
they raided the place, and but I got the call, I got the tip to get out of there. I got my guys out of there, but Gucci Mane and they were in there just doing what they do. Man.
Well, yeah, that's a RICO indictment right there.
22 police cars comes rolling, and an hour later, where are you at? Well, they're lining up down here on 6th Street. They're all down here ready to raid the joint. I said, come on, boys. We're out of here. Let's go. We had already performed, so. But sometimes it's good to have those connections to, hey, Tip, you get the hell out of there. So.
Yeah, you've survived a few of those things, haven't you?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, Steven, you're young. You haven't, everything's all sanitized now,
How old are you now, Steve?
30.
Oh, my God, you're still a baby.
Wow.
I was just showing him the roof sign that it was in 2013. You were the Keystone Nationals 2015 champ, and I you know me, I'm like I like to just give people titles, and he was the compact king.
That was new Alex champ. I was the new Alex champ of 2014.
And I just I named him the compact king years and years ago, and look at him now, and it's like
I'm so mad. Actually, with the first Florida show, I had bolted that roof sign to my car before I went down to Florida.
Yeah,
and I pull into a truck stop in Jacksonville, and I check everything. Everything looks good, and we made it from Jacksonville to I don't know if it was Dover or wherever JC and whoever that guy they called Johnny Cash was there.
Oh, Johnny Cash, yeah.
But we pull into that Derby, and I look back, and I'm like, what the hell? Where's my roof sign? Well, them roof signs back in the day, they used a composite with like thin aluminum.
Yeah.
And it must have wiggled back and forth, and I had 2 quarter-inch pieces of angle. That was all that was left.
It was gone.
So my roof sign is somewhere. It was somewhere.
On 95.
On 95. I was so upset because
you gotta wait.
That's one of the only gifts in the Derby world that someone like actually bought for me. So it was.
I had bought you, Joey, Steve, Mark, me, I think Corletto roof signs.
You know how many people thought that they're like, well, of course you win. You build with Cioppa Racing. And I'm like, I don't build with them. Like, Todd just was generous and nice.
Yeah, I just said,
I'm building in the parking lot of my dad's garage at the time.
Yeah.
I remember you self-described as the Mike DeFricia of compacts back then because he was running all the time. And like he was known for every weekend shows. Yeah, and you were running every weekend as compact.
My first win in Florida, actually, it was pretty cool because Mike was on the mic for Crash Course.
Yeah.
So he was on the mic during my first win, and he was talking about, Steven Sickles up in his voice. I just love Mike's voice.
I love Mike's voice.
I can't wait to get him on a podcast because, like, he has that voice. And he's like, I see him back up in PA winning all the time. And that's when I was like, he was in PA winning all the time, all these lighter build, big cars, compacts. I'm like, I just want to be the compact version of Mike DeFricia.
Yeah, Mike's a man. He grinds them out too, man. He pumps them cars out of his shop.
Yeah.
I love Mike. We work with Mike.
So Lexi Droz has a poll that I have no clue how. Now 2 years in a row, I've been awarded the top Derby driver and the country, which is very biased. I didn't even ask for votes this year, so I don't know. Right. I have fans somewhere that I don't know who they are, but I appreciate you.
Nice. But, Canada.
Canada.
They love you.
I have a download in Romania. But anyways.
Andrew Tate.
Possibly. Anyways, Mike got second this year. And someone was like, man, he didn't even run that much this year. And then I looked at it, and I'm like, no, but every time I saw him run this year,
he won.
Either first or second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he had a hell of a year this year.
Mike. That whole Greenville crew, man.
I've seen Mike be underbuilt. I've seen Mike. He's going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Mike's always there at the end, And Mike likes the lighter builds more.
And I think that night him and Fur got into it because I won the compacts. Him and Fur ran the stock cars, which was 70s. Fur was in a Caddy, I believe. Yeah. Mike was in an 80s car. Yeah. I can't remember. Neither of them could beat each other, but one of them ended up getting stuck on the wall.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which one won because they were both, at the time, my friends and great drivers, so I was just happy for the scenario.
It's funny how we're all able. We're like coast to coast,
Mm-hmm.
Like when, 10, 14 years ago, we reach out with Johnny Gullo, and they come here, we go there. Troy Tag, we go there, we come here. Well, we always were with the New York guys, Ben and Josh and Brian and Chris, and then you get the Midwest guys, Jimmy Johnson and Skinny, and then you had the Ohio boys too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first Ohio's where it's at, and sure enough, Ohio is
Hamilton, huh?
Well, no, but I'm
Ruts
saying
Fab.
Ohio and Utah are like the hardest hitting shows in my opinion.
I don't know. New York, the San Filippo.
Utah and West Coast, I put right up there, but Ohio, I've seen it both ways. And Ohio, I think, has a lot of the drivers and builders that are at the top level. Yeah. If I had to pick a state that I said the best builders in the country overall,
Ohio.
I would probably choose Ohio.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me to say that, because
I know.
I mean, I have a Pennsylvania but
the most creative comes out of Plum. For the most Steve's garage.
But we do love to go and take Ohio money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion the craziest hitters are the ones out of New York.
Oh, New York.
They don't rack to win.
We talk about how hard the TJ shows have been with the pace, how hard hardcore's compacts are.
Yeah.
I tell these guys, I took my friends to Mini Meltdown like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They both looked at me and said, we're never running this effing show.
Yeah.
Like, it is stupid how they drive up there.
It's scary. Like, you're in there.
No. Borderline unsafe. I mean, no, not borderline unsafe. It is unsafe. Borderline insanity.
Yes. Yeah, they have a fleet of ambulances.
No. I ran San Filippo once. I think I told this story. I put it in reverse. I about got killed. I pulled forward. I put it in reverse again. About got killed again, and I never put it in reverse again.
Yeah.
No.
You have no time to physically turn around when your head is on that swivel.
Yeah.
And that second in between.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have that time in New York.
No, it's one of the hardest blasts I've ever taken was there. That in Florida when I got hit by the 1-ton van. That's why I was like, 1-ton vans hit hard.
You didn't enjoy California?
California, we did great because you and I stayed in the middle and like really.
I got beat up. I had from my hip to my tit.
Right.
You didn't get pushed into the moat.
I did it, Dan. We both got moated.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah,
the locals had enough of us. Once I broke like top 10 or whatever.
I'm going to import some dirt and fill that moat in without them knowing next year.
Dude, how about when you took second at the Florida Southern Nationals?
Yeah, who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
You almost beat Cousin Mark.
All right.
That was wonderful.
Oh, that was good.
Dude, I love that. And then you're flying down 95 going to the art show, and you were the happiest man in America, and I'll never forget that.
It was a good time. Yeah, we took it right to Fort Lauderdale and had an art show with that car immediately.
That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
It was a good time. Salute Cousin Dane for that build. Thank you.
Yeah.
That went really well. So, what's the future hold? What's the future plans here?
You tell me.
Well, I mean, are you running? You trying to get the points champ again this year?
Absolutely. I registered out of respect for Mark. He has a new system where you're supposed to register.
Yeah.
And I just feel I plan on running 5 or 6 of the shows. I mean, I believe is your show on?
Yeah, we're on it.
So I'm already signed up for their show. I plan on running 5 or 6 of the shows. I don't plan on losing derbies when I go to derbies in my head.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna score points, and I might as well be registered and try and collect some extra money.
That's right.
But as far as chasing, I don't.
Yeah.
I want to experience some new things, try some new states out.
Well, I mean, I know you got the 50 states on your agenda.
Yeah, South Carolina's another check mark coming up soon.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be great. I can't wait for South Carolina.
The thing that struck me out of that, what he just said, did you hear what he said?
He only comes to win.
He only comes to win. You see, if you have that mindset to be a winner, that you are going to win, you're going to fucking win. That's it. Winners win, and that's it. What he just said, and dude, I don't know how you did that when you won that points championship. That is so hard to do. J.D. Lorraine, so hard to do, you know. Whoever does that, whoever wins it, I mean, it's almost like a full-time job.
It is, for
You know,
sure.
So
Yeah, 2 cars to every event.
I give, let's go back to 2012 when the Derby season would end in like August and you got to wait all year. You know what I mean?
You don't have that now.
Now you don't have it because it's year round. I would have loved to have that series back then because that's all I was doing. Let's build some cars. Let's go, you know. But now it's like,
It wears you out.
It wears you out. You get burnt
But
out.
it's also an addiction. I mean, it's another thing to feed off in this sport. So
Yeah.
I sit here and say that I'm not doing it, and then I'm going to have to fight withdrawal the first time I score.
Yep.
It's bad.
One of the best lines in the Gladiators is it's the best drug on the planet, and I did all the good ones in the 80s. It's a drug. It's a drug, and it's adrenaline. If you could bottle that shit, it's I'd buy.
And I've told people for years.
I'd buy your supply.
I've told people for years I've never even done coke, but I imagine this is what it feels like. So.
No. Adrenaline is just totally. Adrenaline is just like
Better than coke.
Oh, 1,000% better than coke. Yeah, I mean,
This
I
is
grew
good
up
content, right?
I grew up in the 80s, man. Come on. I lived in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yes.
So if you experience pretty much everything.
Right. It landed at your front step.
Yeah.
The airplanes are dropping it off.
Yeah, I mean, when Ron Rice, the inventor of Hawaiian Tropic, lives 4 doors up from you, and Hawaiian Tropic models are doing your laundry.
I always wondered why them Cioppa trucks and trailers go up and down the coast so much.
No, well, first of all, see, my brother, he has his places on the West Coast. I never knew I knew about it, but I never would go to, I'm an East
Like the
Coast
Siesta
guy.
Keys.
I'm Daytona Beach. My buddy owns the nicest bar in Daytona Beach, and he's from Rankin. Vern Kuftick, give a shout out to the Ocean Deck. I grew up in that bar in college, so.
Well, I mean, the East Coast is New York, and the West Coast is the Midwest.
Yeah.
So it's 2 different speeds.
Yeah. Well, so like they're trying to have a true national champion this year. Did you know about the Gold Rush Nationals, where there's 6 qualifying promoters, Triple D, Derby Icons, Brad Bowman out west, all in promotions, and then Iron City. We got in at the tail end of it for the Iron City Nationals.
Yeah.
So the top 4, the 3, and the Mad Dog of the Iron class will go to Rapid City, South Dakota in November. I think it's 50,000 to win.
Now, my question with that is, this is just a question from a driver. What if you don't, what's the realistic chance that all 4 of them guys have the means to pull that off?
Well, they're paying for a lot of the stuff to get there.
So they're going to help them out with fuel?
Yeah, no, fuel, hotels, everything. So,
Okay.
No.
I question that in my head because you guys advertise that, and I'm like,
yeah,
that might not necessarily be a prize that's for everyone.
yeah.
So
Right. So I think the roams and everything for those drivers.
if you're going out there as the only guy from Pennsylvania, we all know how that's going to feel.
Well, yeah, and but it's almost like you have to. It's almost like the Unified Point Series. You have to qualify, like them 4 drivers from Triple D, from ours, And
there's 6 events.
There's 6 events.
So 24 drivers.
That's it. That's the only standalone single event up there, and if you're a promoter, like say Steve, if he goes to King of Ohio and he wins, he doesn't qualify because he's a promoter. He's one of the qualifiers, for it. So
we actually had a
but
team.
the team show is going to be pretty much.
We had a team of female drivers reach out to my girlfriend and ask her to run, and I was like, please delete these messages. Like, I don't want to haul a car that far.
For
yes, all the way to South Dakota. And she's never ran a big car.
I've never been there.
She's never ran a big car, and these girls were crazy enough. They're like,
who, the ones from Vegas, Middler, those guys, or no?
No, actually, that they have to do with the team ass kicker.
So
they reached
okay.
out and asked her to be a part of their team, and I'm like,
it might be cool because
it would be awesome. It would be awesome.
They're from up there.
I can't say that it wouldn't be cool, but running Blizzard Bash, it's just that was a lot on me. I mean,
it was
time and
I'm
money.
not built for that shit. I'm built for a 20-minute race. That's it. If it goes over 30 minutes, I get bored. Okay, I'm not built for them 2-hour races. They suck.
That's terrible.
I don't mind that. Okay. I hate driving 17 hours and then having to work on your car for 8.
Yeah.
To run it for an hour.
No.
To work on it for 8. To run it for an hour. Right. To work on it for 8.
Right. I like to show up at 15 minutes before they go in, put my helmet on, go in. Hopefully I win. Pull out and leave.
This state to state that I want to do, the one and dones, the MWFA classes.
I learned that from you. Show up at the national anthem.
Show up at the national anthem.
Put your helmet on and go derby and leave.
Back in the Croucher days, we used to pull in and we'd run so late that we'd literally come off the rollback and drive straight into the track.
Yeah. How about the time that I think it was the Bob Crushire's memorial when the French TV came over and did a segment on us. That was Crushire's where did you ever see the French TV one where they're speaking French? It was called Turbo and it was on French TV and they came to our shop and they filmed me and Brian Vanetta and
I ran that show, but I didn't know where it actually ended up.
They filmed a lot. I got to find it. It was the name of the show in France is called Turbo. So
that's where I first met Steve Bucknam. And I guess some of his relatives ran 911, and I was running a W body, and I used to have a roof sign that was a flame. And we didn't know each other, so it was a Memorial Derby, and I didn't go there to win for once. Right. I went there just to support it, and he knew me as this hard-hitting guy in the flamethrower car, and I'm sitting there thinking like, good first impression, because next time you see me and next time he saw me run, I won Redneck Rumble and I probably didn't hit a thing.
Yeah, there's shows everywhere, man. You can get a show once a month, any month. You have to travel, you know. I mean, but that's why I like the Lions Club. It's just, have we grown out of it yet? Possibly, yeah, but. We decided to do one more year, and then we'll figure out where the future holds for the Iron City Nationals in Pittsburgh, and then hopefully we could fire back up the Florida Southern Nationals again. That would be awesome if we can get some good dirt.
One of the biggest things I disliked about running a point series was the past 2 years I haven't got to run a New Alex regular season derby. I haven't got to run in 2 years, and that was like, I'm talking if they had 8 derbies, I was running 7 of them.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I did miss with the point series.
Yeah.
Luckily, they had their show there, and TJ even had a show there last year that fit in. So I did get to at least go on the track, but it's not the same. I mean, nothing taken away from Iron City. New Alex on their night, it just has that home feel.
Yeah, it's like Friday Night Lights football, but it's on a Saturday now. Yeah, I mean, we were.
I actually miss the only Friday nights because now there's too many scheduling conflicts. And it was easier for other people, but I get it.
Yeah. Like our show last year, it was a hell of a show. We had the 3 features, with Dustin and Close and Ryan,
For the money you paid, you had one of the best shows out there.
Yeah, and it was good, and it was
not a
hard-hitting.
heat that was
hard-hitting.
I talked to little Jack Drenovich all the time. I still bust his balls because he had that thing wrapped up. And
had it.
He's a man of his word, though.
Had it.
He was running with Close. They're buddies.
Had it. Yeah.
And I don't know that I could have did it.
I love Jack.
I told Jack, I said, listen, I have the utmost respect for your decision at that point.
Shit.
But when it gets down to 3.
I'd have left him hanging.
When it gets down to 3, $10,000. He's what, 16, 17 years
15.
old? 15?
Yeah. With a lot of parts in his car from us, me, whatever, And I love Jack.
I'm sure Dad didn't like that shot.
That's who, him and Steve worked me over in that New Alex Championship the last time, and there you go. I get dinged. I'm looking at these two. And Cole Teets was supposed to run with me to the end, but he was gone early, so these two just lit me up, and then Steve won and Jack was second.
So I just got into the virtual demolition derby stuff, and Jack and Cole are huge into it.
Yeah.
So they're junking me on there.
How about the innocence of those kids? How about that they're still like the video games, but they could go on a track and win a $10,000 show.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? They can win a $10,000.
Well, I tell you what, they're good on that game too.
Are they?
They drive smart, and they'll sign up for team shows together, and they are there.
I love the youth coming up. Jake Berkner. I love all the Carrick Firster. I love these kids coming up. It's just like it's good to see.
They're going to be around for a long time. I mean,
McKenna.
We were talking about. I think TJ. I love TJ shows. I think that Buried Alive or the ones when the Imperials were in there. I think that was the best show. The entertainment value with TJ is.
You mean when Steve tried to kill Andy?
That was good.
Andy let him hang on. Andy left him hanging on the.
That's that moment that Jack, and that's probably why Jack was like, "I'm gonna knock close off because if he gets off somehow, he's gonna kill me."
He had to double think it. No, but yeah, when you look at some of the Dead Man shows, it's like, wow, he's doing something different, and it's cool. It's cool. Like you tune in because you don't know what the fuck he's gonna.
There's an entertainment value that just other promoters haven't. I'm hoping it spreads.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been there for so long.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die in the booth when that car cleared the van and made it all the way to the Trek Shop.
Yeah, I don't know that
booth.
we'll see that again.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like WWE and all that shit's scripted. It's basically unscripted, but it looks like it's scripted, you know. But it's real good. I really like what TJ's doing down there. So
I mean, how can that scenario? That guy did that, and everyone thought that. Man, he's done.
Yeah.
3 hours later, TJ's getting in an argument or something with this guy that has a wrestling mask on. Pulls the mask off, and it's the guy that just almost died. And he's back at the Derby, fine and pumped up. Like I'd be like at him holding my ribs, and
like I saw that man's eyes coming towards the booth, and I was like, because the car before it almost made it to the booth.
Yeah.
And that one, like, I'm like, if this car flips one more time, we're all dead.
Yeah.
That is exactly what you describe as an oh shit moment.
That's what I said on camera.
And he had as far as he had a nice Derby car when it totally ruined it. Yeah. Just destroyed it.
Yeah. The crowd loved it. Looks great on camera. Yeah. Wow, the pictures of it.
These Derby drivers all have different names. The show, TJ has Undertaker. His needs to be like testicular fortitude. That guy.
Right? It's crazy.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, tell everyone where they can follow you at, Todd.
Cioppa Racing Facebook, Iron City Nationals, Iron City Promotions, Cioppa Nation TikTok, Cioppa Racing YouTube. And, that's,
That's quite a few places.
Yeah. I like, the most wanted fine art.
Pretty well known. You type in Cioppa and like 4 or 5 different things pops up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We try to, we, and it's all organic. We've not bought any, whatever that fucking means. I just like to say the word organic. All our likes are organic.
There you go.
That's true. Steven, where can they find you at, buddy?
On TikTok at Sickles911. My Facebook page is pretty good, and recently revved up GarageCast.
Yeah.
But your revved up GarageCast is doing really well. I'm excited for you, buddy.
I like
Getting the fans all revved up.
Where'd you come up with that name?
We could not think of a name for the life of us, so we're just like, we're going to do Sickles Racing GarageCast. And the day before the first episode hit, or that we were recording the first episode, I go to bed, I wake up, I'm in the shower. My girlfriend hears me yelling, I got it. Just out of nowhere, I'm like, when you come to podcast, what's the best content when people are getting all fired up? Not only does it pertain to motorsports, you can get revved up and energized about anything. So we initially we're going to do more of a just me and my 2 friends, but we seem to draw some people that want in on it. So it's taken a little bit more of a twist to more Demolition Derby, but we want to get revved up about all motorsports.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I love it.
We got we've been in talk. We're gonna have Joey Malloy coming in about drift cars. He's into that.
Yeah.
And recent passing of Ken Block sort of grabbed our attention because he was one of my idols as growing up as a kid, and the drift car world is definitely hurting him passing.
And of course, our man Brian, Cinema Psychos, 253 episodes. Brian works for Lipson, who helps host this podcast along with StudioME here in East Liberty. Great facility. Thank you, StudioME, for
Love this place.
having us. It's really nice. So
Yes,
we're in a
makes it
smaller
nice.
studio today, and like when we have more guests, we're in a bigger studio that you've seen. It makes it easy. So salute to Brian, salute to Gerardo back at home there in Monterrey, Mexico. We love you. Hope you get better, buddy.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I think we covered what we needed to cover, right? So we got the
3 guys having a good time.
right. So we made sure we told everybody July 1st,
Yeah. July 1st, Iron City Nationals, New Alexandria Lions Club.
and then they can sign up.
At IronCityPromos.com.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I'll be fashionably late with my 12-car sign up.
They just should not cap
Let's
the
get the
MWFA
record.
class.
Let's get the record.
Is that a challenge?
What is
Well,
what is
the record is 50 cars with you.
50 cars.
All right, and we've had two 38-car shows since then.
Yeah.
Well, with TJ and Mike Tix. So those each had 38 cars. So they've already capped it in South Carolina. So I think it's 35 cars.
Yeah.
But who knows what will end up on the track.
And it's a unified points show.
No, it's not. There, Charleston is. You believe that all these derbies in the winter?
What are you talking about?
South Carolina.
Iron City Nationals.
Oh, I thought you were talking about South Carolina.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
Florence.
So I do think I'm going to sign up for the MWFA at your show.
Yeah.
I took a break. TJ show. I'm like trying to only run it every once in a while.
Right.
I just don't want to get.
So you're really not going to put the effort to
Well, the MWFA class is about
If the
fun.
opportunity arises and you're close, you'll turn up the heat.
Yeah, I registered for your compact class, and I considered doing. You have a really nice light build class.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it, and talking to Jack and Cole, there's like 12 guys that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
And I just running one heat that's a one and done with 12 friends. I've been starting to get away from that because it's just so hard when it gets down to it.
Yeah.
I hate beating up like on each other.
You can win the iron class, the 10,000. You can win that, Steve. Come on, I've seen you.
You got the equipment.
I've seen you run big cars. You're not the compact king anymore.
I have definitely signed up for a lot of classes at Iron City that I'm hoping it being earlier in the year. I'm not burnt out by that time. The past 2 Iron City Nationals, it's right after fair season, and I just was so burnt out that I didn't get my cars done. So,
Yeah, because you're trying to do the big Wayne car.
yeah, I was signed up for the Big Wayne. I was signed up for the Super Stock and the compact team and the MWFA. So I was signed up for 4 cars at a show, and I only made 1.
Nice.
And I feel bad when I do that. Like,
That's all right.
They like it. There's no refunds.
I give him a refund. If he wanted a refund, he'd get it.
No,
I
wouldn't
give him
ask
a
for
refund.
it. I mean,
no. I mean, we love the support, though. You know.
Well, I appreciate everybody that has been listening. I need you to please like, share, subscribe. Without you, we can't do this. This is Cash on the Hood with your host, Jason Sauer, and I really appreciate everyone listening to us. And let's keep up the numbers and try to whoop up on Steven Sickles. Thank you, Todd, for coming on in.
Thank you for having me. Yes, love you guys.
I think our outro turned into episode 3.